Hi folks, welcome back to Lewis on Film. I am Lewis, and continuing the Oscar trend now with the very powerful nominated for 6 Oscars, which is Judas and the Black Messiah. So the film is about one Bill O'Neill, played by Lakeith Stanfield, who he's basically a lowlife. He's got no political agenda. He's only out for himself. He's a thief. He goes on joyrides, and he gets into a spot of bother with the FBI. And this FBI agent, played by Jesse Plemons, Agent Mitchell, he tells him to go and get a job at the local Black Panther chapter, and to give us information on Chairman Fred Hampton, played by Daniel Kaluuya. And sure enough, this is, as far as he's concerned at the start, this is a win-win. He gets a job, they give him a car, they pay him to do this, and he's got a place in the community. And he slowly begins to appreciate the political stance and what Fred is trying to do. Fred himself, Kaluuya, who we see kind of their stories equally. He's this great kind of revolutionary-esque leader. He can talk to a crowd of people, but he's actually quite shy in private, and he's out to help everyone else rather than just look after his own self. So there's a real contrast of these two characters and what they are out to do, and that's the basis of this film. So the good here is plentiful. Daniel Kaluuya, who I've been a big fan of ever since I saw him in Psychoville, a UK TV show called Psychoville, and then he went over to America to pursue more acting, bigger roles, and obviously he was in Get Out, which an Oscar nod. He was in absolutely amazing, my favourite film last year, Queen and Slim, which I think he was underrated for. Here he is with another Oscar nomination, and I think he's going to win. Of course, he is up against Lakeith Stanfield in this film, in a bizarre twist, because the studio propositioned him for Best Actor rather than Best Supporting Actor. But, take what you want from that. But I think Daniel Kaluuya is the highlight of this film. I think he's absolutely fantastic. And, I think he'll be celebrating an Oscar win in this time next month. The way the film's lit and the way it's shot, I absolutely loved. There's a fantastic shot about halfway through, which is done up through a scanner. So there's a document that's being scanned, and it's shot. It looks incredible. Every scene looks and feels like it's important, and it's a real treat to watch and look at, and in that way. Lakeith Stanfield himself, obviously, he's very good in Oscar nomination. Again, another great actor. He's been slowly getting better. I think he's absolutely wonderful. Its script is great. The way that the characters just ooze the charisma from the page onto the screen is to be commended, and you can only really get the full embrace by watching it. So I do recommend it because it's great. It really is great. So the bad here. So I don't think the film's an absolute masterpiece. I did walk away thinking that was a great film, but the very beginning takes a little bit of a time to find its feet. Especially in my situation, in the UK, we don't know much about these stories unless we go away and look them up. So it's not part of our history, and so it was difficult to latch onto in that regard. But once the film does find its feet, like I say, it's great to watch, and the actors are terrific, and it becomes a powerful film. It became more powerful the following day after I saw it. I was still thinking about it. I was still thinking about the characters and what actually happened, because it is a true story. That's the thing. It's a true story that stays with you afterwards, and it's like, wow, that's quite a story. But that's the power of it. It stays with you after you leave the film. Long after the film is still hanging in the back of your mind. I do recommend this. There is a documentary that aired where they interviewed Bill O'Neill, which in 1989, and the unedited interview is available to watch on Vimeo for nothing, which I did go and see afterwards. And yeah, I was just thinking to myself, they could have basically just taken that interview, the real life interview, and just bounced off it in the film. It would have been something else. They chose not to do that. They chose to go in a slightly different direction. That's okay. That's absolutely fine, because the film is great. But as a criticism, having seen that interview now, I think, yeah, they really could have just bounced off something that was already there for them to work from. And yeah, I'd recommend seeing that interview first, so that you've got a little bit of backstory before going into the film. But other than that, yeah, it's very well done. So overall, I don't have a harsh criticism here. The film's great. It's great to watch, great to listen to. The performances are terrific. It's a good story, and it'll stay with you afterwards. I think it's going to be one that will go down as a memorable film. And like I say, I was more impressed with it the following day. The more I thought about it, I was just like, wow, that film really was that good. But despite the false start opening, it's a good film, and I think it's going to do well. It's an important film. Okay, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. Please do subscribe. I've got a lot more of the Oscar nominations to go through in the coming weeks, and we will go through the Oscar nominees and what I think will win over the week before the ceremony. So I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.